Welcome back, folks. In this video lecture, I will be talking about the ratios and then talk about the proportions. And in the next video lecture, we'll talk about the percentages. But today's video will concentrate on ratio and proportions. All right. So first of all, what is ratio? Ratio is the comparison between the two quantities. So for example, here we are given a question: two metal strips are 18-inch and 5.5 feet long respectively. What is the ratio of the short strip to the long strip? So first thing we need to keep in mind is that the dimensions means the unit of these dimensions should be the same. So this is in inches and this is in feet, so I must make sure that I keep the unit same. So 5.5 feet, I must convert it into inches. So 5.5 multiply this by 12, that's going to give me 66 inches. Now what is the ratio? So ratio of 18 and 18 ratio 66. Now how we going to reduce is to smaller fractions or smaller form. So you're going to put it in your calculator. You're going to write down 18 and then press ABC and then press 66. And that's going to give you the reduced form. That will come out to be 3 ratio 11. Now, this is called the absolute. So this is the reduced exact ratio. Okay, exact ratio form. Now, if you are asked to reduce it to the approximate, how to do those kind of questions, that we're going to learn in the next one. So here we are given the compression ratio of the piston engine is defined as the ratio of the cylinder volume bottom dead center to the top dead center. What is the compression ratio of the engine with PDC volume of 720 to a TDC volume of 64.5 cc? Express your answer in the reduced approximate ratio form. So what does it say? Reduced approximate ratio form. And this was the reduced exact. Exact means you will be using the numbers, whatever you're going to put it in your calculator, whatever numbers you're going to get, those are your exact forms. Now when we talk about the reduced approximate form, one of the two terms out of the ratio or two values of the ratio must be one. So let's see how we can solve this one. So one is what we are trying to find: compression ratio of the engine with BDC volume this and TDC is this. Reduce them to the approximate ratio. So I'm going to reduce the BDC upon TDC, and 720 ratio 64.5. Now you can write it in the fraction form also. You will write it as 720 over 64.5. Now to reduce it to the approximate ratio and round it to the one decimal place, so that will be just simply 720 divided by 64.5. So that's going to give you the number. So 720 divided by 64.5 will give you 11.6. That's the number. Now if there is nothing in the bottom, you can place 1 in the bottom and then you can write it as 11.6 ratio 1. So that is the reduced form to the one decimal place. All right, let's look into the next question. A car transmission gear A turns at 28 revolutions per second, B turns at 1020 revolutions per minute. What is the ratio of the speed of the gear A to the gear B? Express your answer to the reduced approximate ratio. Again, reduced approximate ratio it is asking us. Now how we gonna find it? So first of all, this is 1020 in a minute. That's what's given to me, so I must convert it into the seconds. So how many in seconds? So 1020 divided by 60. So 1020 whoops 1020 divided by 60, and that's gonna give me the number as 17. So gear A turns 28 revs in 1 second. Gear B turns 17 revs 1 second, and we wanted to find the ratio of gear A to the gear B. How are we going to find it? Gear A to the gear B. So we will write it as gear A ratio gear B. So 28 ratio 17, but we wanted to reduce it to the approximate ratio. So 28 divided by 17, that will give you 1.65, and then you can place 1 on the bottom and your final answer will be 1.65 is to 1. That's your final answer for the question number 3. Now let's look into the question number 4. A stack of 46 cast iron plates weighs this much, and what would be the stack of 8 cast iron plates weigh? Answer it in pounds and to the nearest tenth. Now this is a question on the proportion. So ratios main purpose is to solve the proportions, because in proportions there will be one term missing and we have to find that. So there are two types of proportions. One is a direct proportion, another one is an indirect proportion. So let me just talk about the direct versus indirect. So direct proportion, and the second one is indirect proportion. Now, indirect proportion, if one thing goes up, other thing goes up also. If one thing goes down, other thing goes down also. So, for example, if you work 8 hours and, well, I'll put it at 6. So, if you work 6 hours and you are working at $50 an hour, so for working for 6 hours, you will end up making how much money? So you're gonna say $300 at a $50 per hour rate. So then you work for 8 hours. How much money you're gonna make? So the number of hours went up, so the money went up also. You end up making $400. If you end up working only 4 hours, then how much you're gonna make? You're gonna make $200. So what does this mean? The number of hours went down, so the money went down also. So this kind of a proportion is the direct proportion. All right, now the indirect proportion. What happens in that? So in case of indirect proportion, if first thing goes up, the other thing will go down, and if this thing goes down, other thing will go up. So for example, if 5 workers, let's say if 5 workers can finish the work in 3 days, okay, how many days 10 workers gonna take to finish the work? So if the number of this is the number of workers, they can finish in 3 days. The work can be finished in 3 days. Here I will write the days. Okay, days. Okay, so the number of workers have increased, and the days should reduce. So how we gonna find out that thing? That's what we gonna do. So this is an example of indirect proportion, indirect proportions. Yeah. So now uh, let's look into how we're going to solve the direct and indirect proportion questions. So let's look into this one. So if I see this one, the stack of 46 cast iron plates weight 2,668 pounds. What would be the stack of 8 cast iron plates will weigh? And we wanted to round the answer to the nearest tenth. So first of all, I will write down what is given to me. So 46 plates weigh how much? 2,668 pounds. And what would be the weight of 8 cast iron plates? So 8 plates will weigh how much? Now, whatever we are looking for, we're going to put that thing as an X. So I'm going to remove the question mark. I'm going to put this one as an X. Now, first thing I will do is I'll write down the X, and then I will ask myself, is it a direct question or an indirect proportion question? If the number of cast iron plates reduces, so the weight should reduce. That's a simple thinking. So we can clearly see this is a direct proportion. So if the number of plates goes up, weight will go up. If the number of plates goes down, weight will go down. So in this one, first thing I will write is whatever thing which I'm trying to find out correspond to that, what is the number given to me. So I'm trying to find the weight, pounds, lb. Okay, so I wrote the missing term as an X. Now the term correspond to the pounds is the pounds. So 2,668, that is the term I'm going to write. Now I wanted to increase this number or decrease this number. I'm trying to find it for 8 plates. The number of plates goes down, so that the pounds should go down also. So I'll multiply with the smaller number on top because I wanted to reduce this value. So 8 divided by 46. That's what I'm gonna do, and that's gonna give me the answer. Whoops, oopsie. So this will give me the number as 464. 464. Okay. On the hindsight, if let's say the 46 plates, let me do the second part of this. Means I'm gonna uh, try and increase the number of plates. So if the 46 plates weigh 2668 and I'm looking for maybe 100 plates, how much what they will weigh? So again, whatever I'm looking for, I'll put it as an X, and pounds, because I'm looking for the weight that is in pounds, so I will write down the term correspond to this one, whatever missing term is. Pounds value I will write 2668. Now I will ask myself, has the number of plate increased? So then, so the weight should increase, so final output should increase. So which number will be on top, 100 or 46? So 100 is a bigger number, 100 will be on top, 46 will be on the bottom, not 460, it is 46. Okay, so if I were to do the math on my calculator, this is gonna give me 2668 multiply, oops, 2668 multiply by 100 divided by 46, that is 5800 pounds. So that's how you can do the direct proportion. Now question 5, we're not doing this one. This is taper question, so this is out of our syllabus, so we're not going to do this one. Question number 6, the a welder can perform 72 fillets in 9 hours a day, and how uh, many can she do in 35 minutes? So 72 in 9 hours, or I can call it as 9 times 60 in minutes, it will be 540 minutes. So 72 fillet in 72 in 540 minutes. All right, so in 35 minutes, how many she can do? How many she can do? So I'm looking for number of fillet. Okay, so I'll put the number of fillet as an X equal to, first of all, I'll put the value of fillet. Okay, because that is missing. Okay, so whatever is missing, whatever we are trying to find out, correspond to that value. uh, what is given to us, we will write that. So looking for fillet, so I'll write down the fillet value first of all, 72 multiply by. Now ask yourself a question, that if someone is spending more time, then the number of fillet will increase. If someone is spending less time, the number of fillet will reduce. So it's again a direct proportion question. So I wanted to have the smaller number now, because she's only spending 35 minutes, correspond to 540 minutes. If she is spending, she is making, getting output as a 72 fillet. So in 35 minutes she should get the less number of fillet, so I will write the smaller number on top, 35, and 540 on the bottom, and that's going to give me the final answer as 4.67, which is approximately 5. Oops, this is, oh no, uh, this is 4.67, which is approximately 5. All right, let's look into the next question now. Now, a pump flow rate is pump a pump with a flow rate of 5.6 liters per minute can fill a tank in 18.4 hours. How long does it take to fill the same tank if you see a bigger pump with a flow rate of this much? Answer it, answer in hours. So 5.6 liters per minute can fill in 18.4 hours. And how long will it take for the pump of flow rate of 14.8 liters per minute to fill the tank? Obviously, if the flow rate has gone up, means bigger pipe or more water per second or per minute is coming in, so it should take less time, you know. So if the if the uh, flow rate is increasing, time is reducing, so that's an indirect proportion. So let's write down what is missing. time is missing, x. So correspond to the time. I will write the time value first, 18.4. I'll ask myself, do I want it to increase this number or reduce this number? I wanted to reduce this number. So if I wanted to reduce this number, then I will write 5.6 on top and 14.8 on the bottom. So if I wanted to reduce any number, write the smaller number on top, bigger number on the bottom. So that's going to give you 7 hours. All right. Now, if the flow rate would have reduced, so if let's say 5.6 liters per minute and take 18.4 hours, and flow rate is 2.6 now, what you would have done? So you would have done x equal to 18.4. You wanted to increase this number because now it's going to take more time. So you will write out of these two bigger number on top, 5.6 upon 2.6, and that's going to give you the final answer. So that was a question on indirect proportion. So hopefully you were able to understand this question. And yeah, that's about it. I think there is another question, question number 8, which I forgot to copy paste it. So I'll write down here also. So seven machinists takes a total of 196 hours. Seven machinists takes 196 hours to finish a project. How much, how long would have taken a smaller team of four machinists? Four machinists will take how much time? Obviously they're going to take more time. If seven can finish in 196 hours, you reduce the number of labor, the time will increase. So 196 x equal to 196 multiply by, you wanted to increase this number because it's going to take more, you know, uh, because the number of employees have reduced. So I'll write down the 7 on top because I wanted to increase the number of hours, 7 over 4, and that's going to give me 343 hours. So hopefully you were able to understand this concept. And yeah, that's about it. In the next video lecture we'll uh, talk about the percentages, and that's about it from my side for today's class. See you with another video. Till then, goodbye.